Again, welcome. I'm Elisa, LaShell, the empowerment specialist. But I really want you guys to take a moment. If you've never shared before, I want you to take a moment to share tonight, because there are so many people that have gotten themselves in alignment with us, and they are pretending to be a part of our purpose. They're pretending to be a part of our now, but only because they want to go into our next. I'm already dropping the mic and I haven't even launched yet. There are many people attached to us pretending to be a part of our now only because they want a free ride to our next. I need to say that again for the people in the back. Why is this important tonight? Why do you need to share this? Get your family, your friends, or your co-workers on, because there are people, they see you focused. They see that you're getting ready to walk into your prosperity. They see that you're ready to walk into your next level. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to connect with you in your now because they want a free ride into your next. They see that you're going to the next level. They see that you have stability in your life. They see that you're finally focused. They see that you're actually getting financially stable, and they're saying, I need to jump on this train. So what they're doing is they're connecting themselves to you in your now because they already have recognized where you're going in your next. And so fake love, how do we discern the authentic from the artificial? Because I'm telling you, if you're not careful, they'll sneak up on you. If you're not careful, what they will do is they will masquerade as authenticity when they are really artificial. I need to say this again. They'll masquerade under authenticity when they are really artificial. And you cannot afford in this next season of your life to be connected with people who are trying to leech, to be connected with people who are trying to tear down, who are being connected with people who are trying to ride this wave out because they see where you're going and they want a free ride. They see where you're headed, and all of a sudden, you hadn't seen them in a while. You don't know where they came from, but all of a sudden, they remember your name. They remember your number. They notice you. All of a sudden, they come, clean out the woodworks. It's because they want to attach to you in your now because they're trying to get a free ride into your next. If you have never shared before, I need you to get your friends, to get your family, to get your co-workers. If you are connected with somebody in your purpose, listen, you need your whole gang on here. You need your whole crew. You need your whole team, because these people, I need you to be able to recognize leeches. I need you to be able to recognize people who have no assignment to you spiritually, financially. The only thing that they're doing is they looked at you and you look stable. They looked at you and you finally look like you know where you're going. They looked at you and they could tell, she's got it. And so I want to show you how to take the mask off. I want to show you how to pull back the covers. I want to show you how to differentiate between the authentic and the artificial. Again, I'm getting ready to ride in. Y'all keep tagging, keep sharing. As soon as you think about somebody that needs to be, they're fooling with people that mean them no good. Listen, get them on. You've been wasting your breath trying to tell them she's fake, he's fake, they're not right for you. Get them on tonight. Share this on your page. Tag your friends. Get them on, because I promise you, before you leave Mic Drop Monday, you will be able to understand the people in your life. Am I able to understand whether they're authentic or artificial? You'll know tonight, because we're dealing with fake love. I'm Elisa, LaShell, the empowerment specialist. Y'all know that Mic Drop Monday is all about help, hope, and healing. You know my life's mantra is you can't fix what you won't face. And so tonight we got to face this so we can fix it. We got to face our environment so that we can fix what's going on in our emotions, what's going on in our finances. I need you to be able to recognize the fake love. Don't give anybody a free ride into your destiny. Don't give anybody a free ride into your purpose. Don't give anybody a free ride into your next. If they couldn't deal with you in your now, then they don't have any room for you in your next. And so sometimes what happens though, our discernment gets a little dusty. And that's why I'm here tonight. I'm going to dust off your discernment so that you can see clearly. I keep feeling this. Y'all need to share this. There are some people in your life, I'm telling you, that need to be on this broadcast. You've been wasting your breath. You've been trying to tell them that these people in their lives are no good. These people they're fake. They don't mean them any harm. Get them on this broadcast tonight, because even sometimes we're too close to we in the forest and we can't can't see the trees. Sometimes it takes somebody else that don't know anything about anything to say something so that it will resonate. So if you can think of somebody, if it's your children and you've been trying to tell them, baby, those friends are fake. If it's your coworkers, it's your siblings, get them on tonight, because we are dealing with fake love. Now, let me say this. Y'all know about what's up with Mic Drop Monday. You already know. If you hear me drop the mic, just put a mic drop emoji in the comments or type in the word mic drop. If you see yourself in what I'm saying, just go ahead and be honest. Let's tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and type in I see me. Last but not least, I'm going to throw some mic drops, and I'm going to say, listen, you might want to type this in the comments. You type this because it affirms some things in your spirit. It gives you something to remember every time you start saying, what did she say about that fake love? Type some of these mic drops in the comments, because it's going to help you dust off your discernment. Keep sharing as you see people come on new. Welcome them, because we're getting on this train. I'm going to ride this tonight. I've been dealing lately with cultivating connections. Last week, I posted a short video where I was talking about connections and conflicts, and I was dealing with why some people might not be connecting with you, because I wanted to give us a realistic look at why sometimes people won't connect with us, because sometimes there are some things that we do that cause disconnections. And as I was doing that, I realized something. Connections play a vital role in our lives. We have to be connected. We know that even the word of God says that no man is an island. He goes on to say, listen, if 2 or 3 of you gather together and y'all touch and agree, y'all can ask something, and guess what? It will manifest. Connections are vital. But can I tell you something? It's important to discern who you are connected to. It's important to discern who's connecting themselves to you. And so here's the dilemma. We want the connections. I'm getting ready to drop the mic, but sometimes we're cultivating cricket connections. Man, I need to say this. Y'all keep sharing this, because somebody needs to hear it. Sometimes we're cultivating cricket connections. It's not that we're not cultivating connections. Yeah, we're forming relationships. We're getting in tune with people. The problem is the connection is cricket. I already know I'm dropping the mic. Are y'all helping me tonight? We're cultivating cricket connections. Yes, we want to network. Yes, we want to connect. It is vital in our lives, but we're cultivating cricket connections. Can I tell you something else? That's the problem. We're hooked up to hypocrites. Man, back in the day, my grandmama, in the old church, they used to talk about hypocrites, and we would be like, what is that? What's a hypocrite? Oh, somebody who says one thing, but they do another. They act like they're one thing, but behind closed doors, they're something else. And so I realized that even though it is necessary for us to make connections with people, sometimes we're cultivating cricket connections. Sometimes we're hooked up to a bunch of hypocrites. And can I tell you, sometimes we're paired up with parasites. Y'all need to start sharing this. It's going to help somebody tonight. Yeah, we're paired up with parasites. Oh, yeah, we're with somebody, but they're a leech. Yeah, we're linked up with leeches. I'm flowing tonight. Did you hear what I said? I'm dealing with fake love, how to discern the authentic from the artificial. We want connections, but we're cultivating cricket connections. We're hooked up to a bunch of hypocrites. We're paired up with parasites, and we're linked up with leeches. And so, how do we deal with fake love? How do we discern the real from the fake? Well, I posted this earlier. Singer-songwriter Drake, and I know a lot of people try to act new like they don't know him, but Drake wrote a song, and I just believe he was in the spirit on the Lord's Day, because he was speaking prophetically when he said this thing. He said, I've been down so long, it looked like up to me. Did you hear what I said? He said, I've been down so long, it looked like up to me. And he thought, but they looked up to me. And then he had a revelation. I believe the Holy Ghost was speaking. He said, you know what? I got fake people showing fake love to me. Oh, and they're not hiding it. They're doing it straight up to my face. Oh, I am flowing tonight. I'm telling you now, the hymn writer said, I've been down so long. Listen, he gave us a strategy right there. He said, I've been down so long, it looked like up to me, because they looked up to me. These were people around me that made me feel like I was somebody. These were people around me that said good things in my ear. These were people around me that pretended like I was what they needed. But listen, the hymn writer Drake said, I've been down so long. See, the problem was I had an issue within myself. The problem was I was in a low place emotionally. The problem was I hit a rough spot financially. The problem was I wasn't high in the spirit on the Lord's day. And so the hymn writer says, I've been down so long, it looked like up to me. Man, tonight we're going to dust off our discernment. He says, they looked up to me, but then he had a revelation and he said, I got fake people showing fake love to me, and they're not even hiding it. They're doing it straight up to my face. Man, I know I'm helping somebody. Y'all need to get everybody that y'all been trying to warn about fake friends, fake connections, fake hookups. Y'all need to tag them, get them in tonight, because we are going to uncover fake love tonight. We are going to separate the real from the fake. And so, why aren't we able to recognize fake love? Why is it that we're hooked up to hypocrites? We're linked up to leeches. Why is it that we're paired up to parasites? Well, the songwriter just said, because I've been down so long, it looked like up to me. May I offer an epiphany that's going to help shift your life tonight. Our dysfunctions is why it looks like up to us. Oh yeah, our dysfunctions are the reason why we could allow them to show fake love to us straight up to our face. Can I help you with something? Let me tell you something. Do you know what dysfunctions are fundamentally? When you scrape away all the fancy words, what dysfunctions really are unresolved, unhealed, and unacknowledged trauma. I'm helping tonight. Y'all share it. Tag your friends. Get your boo. Get your boy. Get old girl. Because tonight I'm going to help us. Our dysfunctions are what is dusting has our discernment dusty. And the reason why we're not able to recognize the people in our lives that are authentic and to recognize the people in our lives that are artificial. And so it is our dysfunctions. Fundamentally, what are our dysfunctions? Our dysfunctions are our unhealed, our unacknowledged, and our unrecognized trauma that happened in our life. Man, y'all sharing if I'm helping. These are the things that we attempt to ignore. These are the things that we attempt to hide. These are the things that we attempt to repress. We try to repress them. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to acknowledge that. But our dysfunctions are a result of our unrecognized, our unhealed drama and trauma that has went on in our lives. And so it distorts our discernment. Yeah, that's what trauma does. This is what our dysfunctions do. This is why we're dusting off our discernment tonight. What happens is our dysfunctions affect our discernment. Somebody should type that in the comments. Dysfunctions affect discernment. Our ability to be able to see past the makeup. Our ability to be able to see past the nice suit. Our ability to be able to see past the sweet words. Our ability to be able to see past that nice smile. What happens is I was down so long, it looked like up to me. What happens is that I had some unresolved trauma in my life. I had some unrecognized trauma in my life. I had some unhealed trauma in my life. And because I didn't get healing for that trauma, I was down so long, it looked like up to me. And before I knew it, I had fake people showing fake love to me straight up to my face. Man, I'm helping. Dysfunctions affect our discernment in three major ways. Number one, dysfunctions distort our discernment. If you've ever looked at something and it was distorted at a fun house, those distortion mirrors, what they will do is they'll cause things to look out of order. They'll put some things big and some things small. And so they'll minimize things that are huge and they'll magnify things that are small. Have you ever been in a dysfunctional relationship where your discernment was distorted? Little things you start making big, big things you started minimize. It's because dysfunctions distort our discernment. I'm helping y'all tonight. Here's another thing that dysfunctions do. I told you that dysfunctions, that's unresolved, unrecognized, and unhealed trauma. Dysfunctions discredit our discernment. Have you ever been discredited? You say something and somebody says, oh, don't listen to what she has to say because she couldn't even do that right for herself. He didn't even get that together for himself. And they discredit you like you never even said anything. What they said was that you don't have any value because you've messed up before. Well, what happens when we have our dysfunctions in our life? What they will do is they'll discredit our discernment. We'll know that we're sensing something. We'll feel something in our psyche, but because we messed up a time before, because we got it wrong a time, we chose the wrong person, we dealt with the wrong person, we'll discredit our discernment because of our dysfunctions. Am I helping anybody tonight? The last thing that our dysfunctions will do is our dysfunctions will dismiss our discernment. We'll see it and we won't see it. Oh, I'm not worried about that. Oh, I'm not going to deal with that. Oh, that's not what it is. Our dysfunctions will dismiss our discernment. And so tonight we're dusting off our discernment. Tonight we got to deal with fake love because Drake said, I got fake people showing fake love to me straight up to my face. And I'm allowing it to happen because I've been down so long. It just looked like up to me. And so I'm here to help give you some clarity about our connections. Let me tell you something. I just said that our dysfunctions do three things to our discernment. It distorts it, it discredits it, and it dismisses it. Let me put that together for you. And let me say this. Welcome to everybody that joined. Make sure that you keep sharing because I'm off the chain tonight. And I have some practical props that's going to give you an aha moment, a revelation about how to discern the real from the fake. Our dysfunctions, I told you that it's unhealed, unrecognized, and unacknowledged trauma in our life. These are things like abandonment and rejection and betrayal and abuse. These things, what they do with us, listen what our dysfunctions do. It distorts what we see, it discredits what we feel, and it dismisses what we know. I need to say this again. Listen to me. Why is it important that we dust off our discernment? Because our dysfunctions distort what we see, discredits what we feel, and dismisses what we know. I need to say this again because it's helping somebody. Y'all need to share this with people that are having a hard time entertaining people that are no good for them. Our dysfunctions, the reason why we have to dust off our discernment is because dysfunctions distort what we see. We don't see correctly. It discredits what we feel. Girl, don't be feeling like that. That's not a real feeling. And it dismisses what we know. I know he's a cheater. I know she's no good. I know they are lying. I know this for a fact. But guess what? Dysfunctions distort discernment. Y'all better hear me. I am laying the foundation for us tonight. Dysfunctions distort discernment. And so we have to dust off our discernment so that we can see correctly, so that we can feel correctly, and so that we can know what we know. Am I helping y'all tonight? If the answer is yes, and if you have not already shared, you need to share it and get your people on. And so tonight, I'm giving us some clarity about connections. You hear that? I'm going to help you get some clarity about connections. So I was thinking about Drake, and he said, you know what? That's when they smile in my face. The whole time they want to take my place. The whole time I'm about to be replaced. I just added that in. I can tell that love is fake. Yeah, somewhere along the line, he wasn't sure. His discernment was dusty, and he was saying, what happened? I've been down so long, it looked like up to me because they looked up to me. But then he got an aha moment. I believe that's when the Spirit provoked him a little bit, and he said, that's when they smile in my face. The whole time they want to take my place. I can tell the love is fake. And then he started figuring this thing out. I can't trust a word they say. I got this thing now. But again, when our discernment is dusty, we're not able to see fake love correctly. And so how do you discern the authentic from the artificial? How do you recognize the real from the fake? Well, I'm going to use these practical props. And when I tell you this thing is about to bless your whole soul, it's going to shift you to the next level. So let me set the atmosphere for it. Many of you guys don't know this, but I love gardening. I love plants. I love cultivation in real life. And in my home, I used to at one point try to have this little garden, and it hadn't worked out well for me in a while, but I love the concept of tilling the ground. I love it in the natural, and I love it in the spirit. I love tilling the ground. I love breaking up fallow ground so that we can receive what it is that we need. And so in real life, this is amazing. I have this amazing revelation about cultivating, about discerning, about understanding and recognizing the real from the fake. And I picked it up because of my love for plants. In my home, I have 5 live plants and 2 artificial ones, and I'm going to use them tonight to take your life to the next level. If you're just coming on, make sure you go back to the beginning, because I dropped some mics in this beginning that are going to set your life on fire. If you're just coming on, welcome. If you have people in your life that have a hard time recognizing when they have fake people in their lives, get them on tonight, because I'm about to take it to the next level. So because I have these 5 live plants, and they range from the teeny tiny to the humongous in my home, it taught me, my fake plants and my real plants taught me a lesson about cultivation that's going to shift your life. And so Drake was saying that's when they smile in my face, and the whole time they want to take my place, and I can finally tell their love is fake. Well, I got an aha moment about fake love using my plants, and I'm going to use them to help me speak a word tonight. So I realized that there were 6 major things that were requirements for my plants, that were requirements for my authentic plants. And it allowed me to see that's how I can tell who's fake in my life. That's how I can tell who doesn't mean me any good. That's how I can tell this person is just trying to ride my coattail in the now so they can get into my next. I can tell their love is fake. So I'm going to use my plants. My plants are going to help me speak a word to you tonight. 6 things, 6 revelations about how to differentiate the authentic from the artificial. Number 1. The first way that you can tell that there is some fake love in your life is when they don't recognize the benefit of having you in the house. Woo, this thing is about to go to the next level. Let me show you my live plant. This is one of my live plants. You see how gorgeous this live plant is? It's going to help you tonight. This is my live plant, and it's one of my smaller ones. This plant represents the authentic, and we're going to say this is you. You are an authentic person. How can you tell whether somebody is taking your authenticity for granted? How can you tell that you have some fake love in your life? Well, there's a benefit from having a live plant in my house. There's a benefit that comes from having this real plant in my home. How can you tell somebody's love is fake? Well, they don't understand that there's benefit from having you in the house. Oh, when you're in the ministry, there's a benefit. When you're in their lives, there's a benefit. When you're a part of their project, there's a benefit. And so when people can't understand that there's a benefit from having you in the house, that's a clue. That might be some artificial. That might be something artificial. Check this out. Live plants do something amazing. Authentic plants are healthy for your home because only authentic plants have the propensity to take out toxins of carbon dioxide from your environment and turn it into oxygen. Man, I'm helping y'all. What's the benefit of having an authentic plant in my house? Is because this plant has the propensity to take out the toxins out of my home, to take out the carbon dioxide, flip it, and turn it into oxygen. I need to tell you, how can you tell that they aren't authentic to your life? Is because they don't recognize the benefit of having you in the house. Man, am I helping y'all tonight. Let me show you a difference. I have my fake plant over here, and I call it a placeholder because I don't like it. It was just something that'll do till she comes and something better comes. This is my fake plant. There is no benefit that comes from having this house in my house. Do you hear me? It doesn't smell good. It doesn't feel good. It's this plant is artificial. It has no components that's going to help what's the atmosphere in my house. Y'all better hear me. How do you recognize fake love? Because fake love doesn't recognize the benefits of having you in the house. There is no benefit of me having this fake plant in my house. I just told y'all it does not feel good. It does not smell good. It halfway doesn't look good. It's artificial. But when I look at my authentic plant, I recognize that this real plant has the ability to take out the carbon dioxide in my house and transform it into oxygen. In other words, having this is a benefit. It makes the air clearer. It helps me breathe better. It puts something in the atmosphere that I can benefit from. What am I saying? How do you tell fake love? You have to know that I'm a benefit. Man, can somebody type that in the comments? I come with real benefits. I'm helping y'all tonight. I come with real benefits. Are y'all sharing? We dealing with fake love tonight. How can I tell the authentic from the artificial? Secondly, how am I able to tell the authentic from the artificial? Well, in your home, you have to provide an environment for cultivation. Woo, I'm helping. How can I tell the authentic from the artificial? We're dusting off our discernment. Well, there has to be an environment for cultivation. Let me tell you something. I got to use my practical props again. My plant has to have an environment of cultivation. That means that there are certain atmospheres that's not conducive for the growth of this plant. That means that there are certain times when the lights have to be off or the lights have to be on. That means that I have to be mindful of the temperature. Woo, I'm helping somebody in my house if I want to cultivate the growth of my authentic plants. Can I tell you, how can you tell when you're connected with somebody who is not authentic to your life? They don't care about providing you an atmosphere that helps cultivate the things in you. Here's my fake plant again. It's artificial. This plant doesn't care if the lights are on, if the lights are off. It can be 100 degrees. It can be 20 degrees in my house. It has no benefit to this plant. How am I able to recognize whether I am in an environment that's not conducive to me? Have they created an environment that helps me be cultivated? Am I able to breathe? Is it too cold in their presence? Is it too hot in their presence? Is there too much going on in the atmosphere that's not conducive for me to grow? Man, I'm talking better than y'all are commenting. I can tell their love is fake. I'm helping you. Drake said, I've been down so long, it looked like up to me. They looked up to me, but then I recognized I've got fake people showing fake love to me straight up to my face. Y'all need to hit this share button because somebody's going to benefit from this tonight. How do I tell whether there's fake love in my home, in my environment, in my relationships? Well, the third thing is they don't complement your surroundings. Woo, this is off the chain tonight. How do I recognize that I'm dealing with some fake love? Well, they don't complement your surroundings. Can I help you with something? When I was going to pick out my plants, when I was going to decide what kind of live plants that I wanted in my house, might I suggest to you that there were a lot of plants on display. As I was walking through Lowe's, man, I looked at some plants and some of those plants looked amazing. Some of those plants were huge. Some of them were small. Some of them were colorful. Some of them had different shapes and to them. They were beautiful plants, but I had to think about, will this plant look good in my home? Y'all ain't hearing me tonight. Will this plant look good in my home? See, now check this out. All of the plants that I saw were live plants. That means all of them could provide something in my atmosphere, but not all of them were going to look good in my house. Man, I just dropped the mic to somebody. How do you tell the authentic from the artificial? When I was picking out some of my live plants, I told you I have 5 live plants in my home. Some of them are small, some of them are big. But what I had to decide was, I looked at all of these live plants, and while all the live plants came with benefits in my home, all of them wasn't going to look good in my house. Let me say this again. While all of them provided benefits for my home, all of them weren't gonna look good in my house. One more time for the people in the back, somebody getting free already. While all of them provided something for my home, all of them were not going to look good in my house. Might I suggest to you that sometimes the reason why we have fake love in our house is because we're looking at the benefits they can provide and we don't even realize they don't look good on us. Oh no, they don't look good. Yeah, they can take some toxins out the air. Yeah, they can put some oxygen. They can clear the oxygen a little bit, but do they complement my environment? Man, am I helping you? How can we tell if it's artificial or if it's authentic? Does it complement my environment? What am I saying? Some people don't look good on you. Some people don't look good connected to you. Some things don't look good attached to you. Y'all ain't hearing me. When I went to pick out my plants, I had to say to myself, some of y'all look good, you're just not good for me. Man, I better say this for the people in the back. What I said was, all of y'all plants look good, but not all of y'all are good for me. And so, how can I tell that there is some authenticity versus some artificial? Do they complement my surroundings? Are they able to complement me psychologically? Because how can two walk together except they agree? Are we on the same purpose path? Are you complimenting me spiritually? Because I can't want to go to heaven and you want to go to hell in a handbasket. You got to think to yourself, wait a minute, am I emotionally stable and you're narcissist and schizophrenic, socially schizophrenic? Because that means you don't compliment me. Am I helping you? Are you complimenting me mentally? I'm not saying you're not good. I'm just saying you're no good for me. Do you hear what I'm saying today? And so some plants I had to walk by, not because they weren't any good, but because they were no good for me. Man, am I helping y'all tonight? And so how do we differentiate from the authentic and the artificial? Well, number 4, if they don't handle you with care. Man, this is going to help somebody tonight. How do I recognize? I told you I'm using my practical props tonight. How can I tell if somebody and something in my life is authentic or artificial if they don't handle you with care? Let me give you my example again using my plants. I told y'all I have 5 authentic plants in my home. And when I went to pick out my plants, one of the things that I had to do is I had to be mindful of how I transported it. Woo! Man, I need to lift an offering tonight. Are y'all hearing me? I had to be mindful of me transporting this plant. Because I realized that I was taking this plant out of an environment that it was used to, and I was getting ready to put it into an environment that it hadn't ever been in before. Man, this is going to give somebody a life mic drop tonight. I realized that I was getting ready to take this plant out of an environment that it was used to, and I was getting ready to transplant it into a place where it had never been. And so when I got ready to put my plants in, I have a plant that's almost 5 feet tall, and I have plants that are huge. I mean, they are wide as my arm length. And so I had to realize when I put them in my car, I couldn't just throw them in and keep it moving. I had to be careful when I got ready to transport this plant, because I had to realize that while I was driving, I might run into some traffic. I had to realize that it might cause me to make a sharp turn, and I didn't want to disturb the environment. I didn't want to disturb the foundation. Woo, I'm helping somebody tonight. I realized that if I wasn't careful with this plant, if I was too rough when I was transporting this plant, that I could potentially shake its foundation and all of the soil would come out and its roots would be exposed. Woo! I'm trying to tell you, I may need to turn this into a book. You're right, Pastor Knight. Did you hear what I said? When I got ready to transplant this plant and transport it to a new environment, I had to realize that I had to handle it with care, because if I was too rough with it, I could mess up its foundation. Man, can I tell you, how do you tell if somebody is not authentic to you in your life? They don't know how to handle you with care. They'll rock your foundation. They'll move all over you. Listen, I had to be careful that I didn't shut the door too hard and break one of these leaves. I had to make sure that as I was transporting this plant to my house, that I didn't turn the wheel too hard so that this plant didn't tip over and everything spilled out. I had to make sure that I didn't do something to expose its roots. Are you hearing what I'm saying? When I got ready to bring something authentic into my life, I had to use a level of sensitivity and gentleness and kindness and discernment so that I didn't uproot something in this plant. Man, I'm helping y'all. How can you tell the real from the fake? Baby, if people handle you any kind of way. Let me tell you, with my fake plant, honey, all I did was get this bad boy and throw it in the trunk. I didn't have to cushion it. I didn't have to set it a certain way, because I realized no matter which way it turned, nothing was coming out of it. Nothing was going in and nothing was going out. How can you tell if there are some authentic people in your life, and how can you tell if there are some artificial people in your life? Look at the way you're being handled. Do they handle your emotions like this? Do they handle your purpose like this? Do they play with your feelings? Do they mess around with what you're trying to do? I can tell their love is fake. Man, are y'all sharing? I am all the way on fire tonight. How can you tell the real from the fake? Thank y'all. I'm on fire. I feel this fire tonight. I'm helping y'all discern the real from the fake, and I'm using my plants to show y'all, give y'all a lesson in discernment. We're dusting off our discernment so that we cannot be distorted, so that we cannot be discombobulated, so that we cannot be confused about the people in our lives that are authentic and the people in our lives that's artificial. How can I tell that I have fake people showing fake love to me straight up to my face? Well, here is another thing that I was taught by with my plant. If they don't make room for you. Woo! Are y'all hearing me tonight? How can you tell if you are dealing with somebody in your life and they are not authentic, but they are artificial and they're showing fake love to you? Man, I'm helping you tonight. They don't make room for you. One more time for the people in the back. How in the world can you tell if there are some fake people showing fake love to you straight up to your face if they don't make room for you? Let me use my practical props to show you this thing. When I got ready to get my live plants, I keep telling y'all I have live plants. I have 5 of them, and there are some of them that are as tall as me, and there are some of them that are small, and there are some of them that are wide, and there are some of them that are very tiny. Well, what I had to do in my home was that I had to scope out the environment, and I had to recognize that I needed to make a place for the plants. Man, I need y'all to hear this. I had to make room for the real if I wanted it in my life. How do you tell who's fake in your life if they don't make room for you? I'm going to help you all tonight. When I got ready to bring in something real into my environment, it did not matter what I already had in my home. I had to make a conscious decision to move some stuff out of the way because I wanted something real in my space. Man, that was a mic drop for somebody. I had to realize that it did not matter what I had in my house before. If I wanted something real in my space, I had to make room. Let me take this a step further. Jonathan McReynolds has a song called Make Room. And the lyrics to that song says, listen at this. I make time for what I treasure. I make room for what I treasure. I make time for what I want. I choose my priorities. And then he says, I will make room for you. Man, I'm helping y'all tonight. How do you recognize who in your life is fake and not authentic and disingenuous? Do they make room for you? And so I was listening to that song and he said, yeah, I make space for what I treasure. Oh, that was a clue right there. He said, if I treasure it, I'll make room for it. Y'all ain't hearing me. How can I tell if their love is fake? Do they make time for me? He said, because I make time for what I want. I'll choose my priorities and I'll be the one to make room. A lot of the times we're fighting for space when they should be making room. Man, I almost threw my plant right then. Did you hear that mic drop? A lot of times we're fighting for space when they should be making room. I'm helping somebody tonight. A lot of times we so busy trying to make space for ourselves in somebody else's life when the reality is they should be making room for you. Huh? You're so busy begging people to call, begging people to treat you right, begging people to go somewhere, begging people to give you some time, begging people to give you a platform, begging people to give you the time of day, begging people to go somewhere, do something, notice you, be with you. You so busy trying to get yourself and make space for you, but they should be making room. I'm just trying to get my time in. No, they should be making room. When I went to pick out my plant didn't say, hey, I need you to make space. No, my plant just said, if you want me, you will make room. Woo! Who am I talking to tonight? My plant just sat just like it wanted to. It didn't wave its arms. It didn't put anything. What my plant did was sit there. And I had to recognize that if I wanted it, I'm the one that had to make room. So stop fighting for space when they should be making room. All my plant did was be available for me. And what it was my responsibility to make room for my plant. I'm here to tell you, how do you recognize that you're dealing with some fake love? How do you recognize that you're dealing with people that's just tolerating you? How do you recognize that relationship is disingenuous? How do you recognize that it is not authentic? Are you fighting for space or are they making room? Man, somebody should type that in the comments. How can I tell if I got fake love? Am I fighting for space or are they making room? One more time for the people in the back. Am I fighting for space or are they making room? Like I said, it was my decision to go out and get this real plant. It was my decision to decide I wanted something real in my home. And so it had to be my responsibility to make room for it. It was some things that had to get off the shelf. Man, I'm helping. It was some things that had to go into the closet. It was some things that had to repurpose. Because if I decided that I'm the one that finally wants something real, I'm the one that wanted to put this in my life. Sometimes you've got to know your worth and know your value and say, wait a minute, you sent for me. You asked for this relationship. You hooked up with me. And so I'm not going to fight for space. You need to give me some room. Man, did you hear what I said? I said, and so I'm not going to fight for no space. You need to give me some room. And so I had to make the decision to clear out some space because I needed to make room. Woo! Man, I'm helping y'all tonight. I had to make room. And so, my plants, listen to me. Real connections, authentic relationships don't make you fight for space. They give you the room. Did you hear what I said? How do I know that this love is fake? How do I know that this isn't where I'm supposed to be? Because I'm fighting to be heard. Because I'm fighting to be seen. Because I'm fighting to be acknowledged. Because I'm fighting to be recognized. Because I'm fighting for time. Because I'm fighting for something. I'm fighting for space when they should be making room. I'm helping somebody right through here. And so I had to recognize that I needed to make room. Now, man, this last point is going to blow y'all's mind. Hear me when I tell you this. This last point is going to blow your mind. How do I recognize the fake love from the real love? I told y'all, Drake said, I've been down so long, it looked like up to me. I was allowing my dysfunctions to distort my discernment. I was allowing my unresolved, my unhealed, and my unrecognized trauma that was in my life to birth dysfunctions in my life. And those dysfunctions started to distort my discernment. Those dysfunctions started to discombobulate my mindset, and I was not able to recognize when I was dealing with somebody that was disingenuous, when I was dealing with somebody that was artificial, when I was dealing with somebody that didn't mean me any good, because I was down so long it looked like up to me. And I had no idea that I had fake people showing fake love to me. And guess what they were doing it? Straight up to my face. And so, this last point, by using my props tonight, my practical props with my plants, how can you tell if you're dealing with somebody that's showing you some fake love? Man, this is going to take you to the next level. Well, they don't give you what you need. This is number 6. This is the last one. They don't give you what you need. Last but not least, this thing's going to take you to the next level. They don't give you what you need. Let me tell you something. My plants, my live plants, I told you I have 5. My plants don't have the ability to ask for anything. Somebody gonna catch this. My live plants don't have the ability to ask for anything. But when I brought them into my house, I understood that it was my responsibility to provide. Woo! I need to say this again. My plants don't have the ability to ask for anything. But when I brought them into my home, it was my responsibility to provide and to give them what they needed. How can you tell the real from the fake? When somebody brings you into their life, when somebody brings you into their relationship, brings you into their space, brings themselves into connections with you, they have to be able to give you what you need. How can I tell I'm dealing with fake love? How can I tell that I'm dealing with somebody that's not authentic? They're not giving me what I need. Let me break this thing down. 3 things that my plant, my authentic plant, needed from me. Now I'm telling you, my plants don't have the ability to tell me what they need, but I had to understand that when I brought them into my environment, I had a responsibility. Man, some of y'all letting people off too easy. You letting people get in covenant relationships with you. You letting people hook up with you. You letting people connect with you, and you're allowing them to neglect you. You're allowing them not to give you what you need. I'm telling you, you fighting for space when they should be making room. And so it was my responsibility. When I decided to bring this real plant into my home, it was my responsibility to give it what it needed. 3 things that I recognize, and it's going to help y'all tonight. 3 things that I recognize when I brought this plant into my life. Number 1, my plant needs sun. Woo, this gonna blow your mind. My authentic plants need sunlight. What am I saying? How can I tell when I'm dealing with some fake love? They'll never want you to shine. They'll never want to put the spotlight on you. They'll never want to put you up front. They don't ever want to show you off. They don't never want to put your name out there. They don't ever want to support your dreams. They don't ever want to put you first. Am I talking to anybody tonight? How can I tell that their love is fake? Well, they don't give you what you need. And the truth of the matter is, my real plants need some sunlight. Man, I'm off the chain tonight. I'm helping you. How do I recognize the real from the fake? Well, do they give me what I need? My plants need sunlight. If you are dealing with somebody that can't never give you the spotlight, that can't never give you any props, that can't ever give you a compliment, that can't never let it be your turn to shine, that can never let you be the one to make the decisions, that can never let you to be the one to get the microphone, that can never let you be the one to go ahead of them, that can't never let you be the one to do it first, baby, then you might be dealing with some fake love. I had to recognize that my plants need a little sunshine. Every now and again, you ought to know how to applaud your friends. Every now and again, you ought to know how to put them on a pedestal and let them shine. Every now and again, you ought to let them go up front and show people and speak well of them and put them in front to let them get a little sun. Give them a little sunlight. Give them a little recognition. Give them some props. Let them go first every now and again. And so I had to recognize that a lot of the times we're dealing with fake love because we're dealing with people that don't never want to give us any sun. Oh, I don't want you in my pulpit. Oh, I don't want you on my platform. Oh, I don't want you on my page. Oh, I don't want people to know I can applaud you. Oh, I don't want to say anything kind. Oh, I don't want to like your post. Oh, I don't want to share what you just said. Oh, I don't want to come to your event. Oh, I don't want, but every now and again, if you are cultivating some authentic connections, you ought to be able to give them some sun. Every now and again, you ought to be able to say, good job. Every now and again, you ought to be able to say, y'all, look, can I tell you something? My two huge plants, do you know where they are? They are sitting front and center in my family room. Why? Because, baby, I want them to shine. Why? Because when people walk in my house, my huge plant is sitting upstairs so that when you walk in, you see it sitting right at the top of the balcony. Why? Because I want my plants to shine. Why? Because I want to give them some sunlight. Why? When we have relationships with people and they are authentic, beware of people that won't ever give you no sun. Beware of people that won't ever put you in the spotlight. Beware of people that won't ever give you your props. Beware of people that can't ever applaud you. Beware of people that won't ever support you. Beware of people who won't ever let you have your time in the sun. Am I helping anybody tonight? 3 things that my plant needed. I'm helping you. How can you tell that love is fake? I've been down so long. It looked like up to me, but I recognized that I had fake people showing fake love to me straight up to my face. And so, my plants, I had to give them what they needed. The first thing they needed was sun. Here's the second thing. The second thing that they needed was water. I had to be able to hydrate my plant when it got dry. Man, it's going to help somebody tonight. I said I had to be able to hydrate my plant when it got dry. I need to say this again for the people in the back. I had to be able to hydrate my plant when it got dry. How can you tell if somebody is disingenuous and fake in your life? Do they ever water you with good words? Do they ever water you? Do they ever quench your thirst when you are the one going through a dry place? When you are the one that's going through in your relationships? When you are the one that's hard on your look every now and again? Are they putting any nutrients in you? Are they providing you any water? Are they watering you with encouragement? Are they watering you with the word of God? Are they watering you with some good news? What are they watering you with? Because if you got fake love in your life, they watering you with nothing. Whew. Who am I talking to tonight? How can I discern the real from the fake? Are they watering you? Is it always that you're the one that got to encourage them? You're the one that's got to compliment them. You're always the one that's got to be the bigger person. You're always the one that's got to come through. You're always the one that's got to lend a helping hand. You're always the one that's got to fix it for everybody. You the go-to girl. You the fix-it fella. You are the person that's always doing the watering, and yet you the one running dry. Who am I helping tonight? I got fake people showing fake love to me straight up to my face. I'm trying to help you. I've been down so long. It looks like up to me. They looked up to me and I realized I've got fake people showing fake love to me straight up to my face. Y'all, this thing is going so good. Somebody texted me and said, listen, how can we sow? How can we give? How can we support you? I put all my information and I pinned it. You guys can sew if you want to. You guys can book a session with me. I have master classes coming up. Make sure you go to my website, sign up, because I want to stay connected. And last but not least, check this out. What is it that my plant needed? My plant needs food. Woo! Y'all need to hear this. My plant, not only did it need sun, a time to shine, not only did it need water in its dry places, but my plant needed food. There were some times when I had to provide the resources for this plant to grow. Can I just tell you something? How can I tell their love is fake? Because they can't ever come out their pocket for me. Because they don't ever have any resources for me. I see them doing great things and I'm saying, who did that for you, girl? I don't know. How did you get that, child? I don't know. I don't know. I just figured it out. They don't ever have any resources for you. They're never feeding you anything positive. They're never sowing into your life. They're never putting anything into your soil. You're providing them benefits. You're providing them breakthrough. You're providing them all of these things. Every time you look up, you're the one pouring out. You're the one giving. You're the one sowing. You're the one showing up. You're the one making it happen. You're the one supporting. You're the one coming through. But do they ever provide any resources for you? How do you know it's fake love? Are you being fed? Oh, I'm helping. You wonder why your well is running dry. You wonder why you spiritually dehydrated and emotionally malnourished. It's because you giving it all and you're getting nothing. Man, I'm helping somebody tonight. And so I had to recognize something about my plants. There was a difference between my real plant and my fake plant. You see these practical props I have tonight? I had to realize that I just can't take my plant's benefits without providing the nutrients. Man, somebody getting free tonight. I've been all the way off the chain. And so how could I tell the real from the fake? I'm going to recap it and I'm going to let y'all go. Number one, if they don't recognize the benefits of having you in the house. There's a benefit from me having this real plant in my house. It takes away the carbon dioxide and turns it into oxygen. This artificial plant don't do anything for me. It doesn't provide anything for me. It doesn't do anything for my well-being. How can I tell the real from the fake? They don't provide an environment for cultivation. They don't care about the temperature. They don't care about whether I'm too hot or too cold. They're not looking to see if the atmosphere is conducive for me to grow. How can I tell? Number three, if I'm dealing with fake love, they don't complement my surroundings. They don't look good around me. They're not good for me emotionally. They're not good for me spiritually. They're not good for me mentally. They're not good for me psychologically. Number four, how can I tell their love is fake? They don't handle me with care. I told you that when I was transporting this plant, and even if I move it around, I have to be mindful of how I handle my authentic plant, because if I shake it too hard, if I handle it too rough, I'll knock out its foundation, and what I'll do is I'll expose its roots. And if I do that, then something detrimental can happen to this plant. I risk losing it. I risk it dying. I risk it suffering. My fake plant, child, I don't have to do anything. I can handle this plant any kind of way. I can flip it, dip it, and trip it, and it does not matter. How can you tell if somebody is disingenuous with you? They handle you any kind of way. Number five, how can I tell their love is fake? Well, number five, they don't create a space for you. I told you that when I decided to bring plants into my home, it didn't matter what was already sitting on the shelf. It didn't matter what I already had. Some things had to be repurposed. Some things had to be put up. Some things had to be moved out of the way so that I could make room for what I wanted in my life. I told you earlier that you shouldn't be fighting for a space. They should be making room. So stop fighting for a space when people should be making room for you in their lives. And last but not least, how can I tell if I'm dealing with fake love, if I'm dealing with somebody who is not authentic to my life, to my purpose, to my next, and to my now? They don't give me what I need. I told you that my authentic plant needed three things. It needed sunlight, it needed water, and it needs food. If you are dealing with people who won't ever give you your time in the sun, who won't ever compliment you, who won't ever showcase you, who won't ever share your stuff, who won't ever support you, who won't ever put you first, if you're dealing with people who don't know how to hydrate you in your dry places, who don't know how to support you even when you're going through. And if you are dealing with people who won't give you food, who won't provide resources, spiritual food, financial food, resources that you need to go to the next level, baby, I'm going to tell you like Drake said, fake. That's when they smile in my face. Whole time they want to take my place. I could tell that love was fake. Listen, I'm Elisa, LaShell, the empowerment specialist, and this probably has been one of the most powerful mic drop Mondays I have done. And so if it was a blessing to you, and I pray that it was, make sure that you let me know. Make sure that you've shared it. I pinned the comments. I pinned my comment, all the ways that you can be a blessing to me. If you want to set up a one-on-one empowerment segment with me, you are so welcome to do so. There's a link for that as well. Also, I have an Unstuck masterclass that I'm bringing it back again. It was so amazing the first time that I'm having to bring it back again, October the 17th. And so I'm going to put the link up for my masterclass, because I want you guys, if you feel like you are stuck in any way, form, or fashion, I want you to get unstuck. And so that I'm putting up the link for my Unstuck masterclass. You can register for it for my masterclass. I would love to have you in my Unstuck masterclass so that I can teach you how to get out of where you are and get to the next level. If you're stuck in relationships, if you're stuck in your purpose, if you're stuck mentally or emotionally, this class is going to get you unstuck. So make sure you hit the link. Again, thank you all that sold. Thank you all that support. Thank you all that always have my back. All of you all that were watching me that are new, thank you so much. Make sure you tune in every single Monday night. And wait a minute, let me make this amazing announcement. Next Monday night is a holiday. It is my birthday, and I am so excited that next Monday, September 30th, is my 42nd birthday. And I want everybody that supports me, that have benefited from my life, I want y'all to make me feel good. That's my birthday. I'm going to put up a big post and say, listen, my favorite sound, one of my favorite sounds in the world is my Cash App. So you can go ahead and get my early birthday present, or you can wait till next Monday, because I'm going to be looking for gifts. It's my birthday. Seriously, thank you guys so much for riding with me. I appreciate you guys supporting me. Those of you out that shared, thank you so much. I'm Elisa LaShell, the empowerment specialist, bringing you some help, some hope, and some healing. I'll see y'all next time.